Hello, welcome to a new video following Bitcoin Cash news. This time for January 2024. There's a lot of stuff to cover, so let's dive right in. To get started, I'm going to use the Bitcoin Cash Foundation weekly news recap articles. And for the first week of January, the highlight is the BCH Guru platform. So they write on January 5th, the BCH.Guru team released their first BCH-based game to public beta. The first game is based on future price predictions with oracles provided by general protocols. To start, you can predict the price of BCH, BTC, and ETH at BCH Guru. So let's take a quick look at the platform. You can find it at beta.bch.guru, and you can connect your CashNice wallet. So it uses Cash Connect. I already have my wallet connected. And then you can select your Guru NFT. So that's the one I have selected. And then you can play against other players, or you can just check out the live games. So here is all the live games going on. And then you can see who is leading and who is losing on their predictions. So a very interesting concept. Currently there's 65 live games, and all the contracts work with Furu token. So you can see this one is with 100 Furu locked in total. So let's continue with the other news items. So the General Protocols Twitter Space series has been continued with a new episode. And the same for the Bitcoin Cash podcast. But bigger news is the BCH Atomic Swap Flip Starter. So Pat and Bitcoin Cash artist made a flip starter to create an open source software framework and a Web3 application that allows users to swap BCH with other currency in a trustless and decentralized manner. And at the end they write BCH BTC, BCH LTC, and BCH Doge, and create the open source relevant contracts. And if we jump ahead in the show notes, we can see that the flip starter now got funded. So Pat writes, the fundraiser got fully funded. Thanks a lot to our generous contributors, BCH XMI Community Power. So it's awesome to see this initiative, and also another great example of Flipstarter being used to fund open source projects. And then lastly, the Calderon CashTokens based BCH DEX also got crowdfunded. So if we jump to the specific announcement, the Calderon DEX right, Flipstarter funded. Thank you to everyone who pledged to get this campaign funded. Now we cast those spells and bring DeFi to BCH. And there were other announcements from the Calderon DEX. So after they got their Flipstarter funded, I think it was funded January 8th. And two other announcements they made was that the Calderon DEX is now tracked on DeFi Llama. So as you can see, there is 17K locked up, which is still tiny, but for the nascent cash tokens ecosystem, that's already a great start. And this only counts the BCH locked up, so not the tokens, because they are not, they're not taken into account for this liquidity because they are not considered liquid enough. And then the last announcement from the Calderon DEX team is the stablecoin announcement. They said at Riften Labs is developing a stablecoin for Bitcoin Cash, MUSD. Follow Moria Money. So this is the name of the project with the ticker MUSD. So it's still in development, so there's not too much information about it yet, but this is certainly a very big announcement. Then next up in the news, so let's continue with the news from the Bitcoin Cash Foundation. In the second week of January, there was the announcement for the BCH Bliss conference. So the BCH Bliss conference in 2024, celebrating the BCH Jessica upgrade in Ljubljana. So in Slovenia, the capital of Slovenia, will be the place for the next Bitcoin Cash conference in Europe. And this is what the tickets look like. So they are NFTs which sell on TopSwap. So the tickets are on sale now. And let's continue reading. The BCH at BCH Bliss 2024 event celebrating the Bitcoin Cash Jessica upgrade will take place in Ljubljana in Slovenia on May 14th and 15th. The event features presentations, panel discussions, and celebrations. Attendees can use Bitcoin Cash for payments. The event will be live streamed by the Bitcoin Cash podcast, check out bliss.cash for details. So very hyped for this, and I will be attending myself. So maybe I will see some of you there. Then next in the news was more continuing of the Twitter Spaces, the podcast. And then there was also the recap article I wrote, so called the year 2023 in Bitcoin Cash. So if you want to look back at last year or missed some of the major developments, you can take a look at this article, and it's 8 pages in length, but it's very interesting. So I hope some of you are curious enough to check it out. And then lastly, Paytaca has another wallet update, but also announced another major feature. So let's take a look at that. They said, sneak peek at what our team has been diligently working on in the background for months. Our highly anticipated feature set to soft launch in a pilot operation in Tacloban City, the Paytaca marketplace. So let's take a quick look at the screenshots. In the application page, there's a new marketplace button where you can order pizza in the local currency. It's Hawaiian pizza, but I won't voice my opinions on that. And then you can see the checkout is very easy, all with Bitcoin Cash as a payment. And then you can see the route for the delivery. So if you jump to the end, it says we've developed the point of sales app for managing inventory on the merchant side and another app for the delivery riders, ensuring the entire user experience is comparable, if not better, than most expensive platforms. We're thrilled to roll this out. Stay tuned. So I think they will focus mostly on the Philippines, because this is for real world commerce. So it's hard to, it needs to be adapted for the local needs, for example, the local currency and things like that. And also it scales with network effect. So it's good that this will be concentrated in the beginning in one area. So very, very cool announcement by the Paytaca team. And next up, there was more news from the BCH Guru team. The team said BCH Guru NFT Wave 3 mint is live with an announcement, and they also posted a song associated with this new wave. And then lastly, some technical news. Firstly, the BitAlt IDE version 1.0.0 is now available, and as you can see, it's an open source online integrated development environment for developing Bitcoin Cash contracts. And it works now offline. It uses libalt v2, is at over 70% test coverage, and has performance improvements. So if you take a quick look at the screenshot, this is what low-level Bitcoin scripts or Bitcoin Cash scripts look like. So this is the unlock, and this is the lock for the contract. So you can see there is an op-if, an op-else, an op-end-if, and there's a lot happening. So this is the contract itself, and this is what the stack looks like. So if you want to debug, you will take a look at the right-hand side, but if you want to write the contract first, you will look at the left-hand side. So this is not easy to get started with, but the BitAlt IDE tries to visualize it as well as possible. So this is low-level tooling, which is very important, but there has also been progress on the high-level tooling. So this is CashScript. So the tweet here says, we've just updated the CashScript playground to include these new features, so which was talking about the new and improved debugging workflow. So to include these new features, so if you use the playground today, you'll see much more detailed error messages and debug information. Try it today at playground.cashscript.org. So it's also a web interface, and you can write your CashScript contracts on the left-hand side, and you can invoke transactions on the right-hand side. So here there was a transaction trying to spend only 1,000 satoshis, but the contract requires, so it says require transaction.output 0.value is larger than 10,000, otherwise throw an error, did not spend enough money. And if we say what the result is, it says transaction failed with reason, error in evaluating input index 0, with the following message, did not spend enough money from the contract. So this is high level and much easier to reason about, but then if you have a problem, you can still use the BitAlt IDE, the low level environment to really get into the details of what specific thing went wrong. So it's great to have both the high-level tooling making a lot of progress and the low-level tooling. So this will make it much easier for smart contract developers in the coming months to also get started with Bitcoin Cash. And that wraps it up for the main news items for January of 2024. Hope to see you in the next video. Bye.